Hello everyone and welcome down the Bitcoin rabbit hole. I'm your host Roxy, and today's lesson we're going to see why Bitcoin matters. So on the previous lesson we saw what is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is basically hard money, sound money, and also a protocol that do the same thing every 10 minutes. And today we're going to see why it's important, because if it's just a bad technology, if it's just a way to get rich quick, then it doesn't interest me and you should probably not waste your time with that anyway. Obviously Bitcoin is way more than that, so let's see. So the first point is really basic access to financial services all around the world for everyone. So today there is more than 3 billion people that are unbanked, people that don't have access to a bank account, to a credit card, to loan, to services. And that is because the system is just too complex, it's expensive, they need paperwork. With Bitcoin, everyone is equal. That you are the president of the United States or someone in Africa or in Europe, you're going to be using the same financial system, which is the Bitcoin protocol, regardless of what you have or what you want to do with it. So anyone in the world can jump in Bitcoin freely, because you can create addresses for free, you can create unlimited number of accounts, you can be anonymous or public, you can transfer money anywhere in the world instantly without anyone telling you to do or not to do it. The fees are really low and can be almost brought down to zero, so anyone can access that. And obviously no ID and no paperwork and no hiding fee. So you don't have a bank account that's going to ruin you. Your money is on your own custody, so no one can steal that from you. And obviously it's just giving access to saving to so many people. And that is the main, I'd say, promise of Bitcoin. And it is actually doing its job quite nice for the past 10 years. So second point, like we saw, is that you can gain back sovereignty over your money. Basically, you need to understand that right now, all of your money is owned by the bank. You've basically made the loan to the bank and say, hey, use my money, invest it, keep it for me, and if I need some, I can use the money that I gave you. There's a lot of risk involved with that. First of all, your bank can go bankrupt. So right now they're just going to be bailed out by the government, but still, your bank account can be frozen or seized. That has actually happened to me twice in a year with my company. I try to teach Bitcoin to people. I try to help them set up their Bitcoins and accept Bitcoin. So I'm basically educating people. And the French government doesn't like that, and there's a monopoly with the banking system. And they basically froze my bank account twice. So I had to move banks 3 times within 1 year of my startup. That is because the money is owned by the bank, and if like Lehman Brothers they go bankrupt, then all your savings is gone. If like in Liban they say, hey, you cannot withdraw your cash because we don't want you to make a bank run, then that's it, you don't have any money. So really with Bitcoin, if you own the private key, so if you secure them properly and you have the backup of your money with you, then you are in full sovereignty of your money and no one can steal it, no one can seize your phone, or no one can tell you what to do or not to do with your money. You gain back control of your financial life, and I think that is really important, especially for people living in authoritarian regime, which is nicely bringing us to the third point, censorship resistance and avoiding a cashless society. Because you need to understand that Bitcoin is pseudo-anonymous, so you can be anonymous if you do it well, or you can be public if you just want people to know what you have. And that is so important in tomorrow's society, because data is power, and if they harvest all the data from the financial system, then you won't have any freedom. Money is a type of communication, and free speech is essential for a free and open society. And if you don't have free communications through money, so if you cannot decide where you're going to spend your money, who you're going to send your money to, who can have access to the financial system, then there's no freedom. And sadly, we've seen that happening more and more all around the world. And even more sadly, every single government is pushing the agenda to bring a cashless society. So they are passing bills, they are making technology implementation to eradicate cash from society. And the reason is quite simple, because cash is messy. They don't want cash, but cash is one of the best weapons we have as the people to speak freely about what we want the society to be. And eradicating cash is not a conspiracy theory, it's not some propaganda, it is a fact. They are trying to remove cash from society slowly by slowly. Hopefully for us, Bitcoin is an alternative, because Bitcoin is digital cash. So it will bring back privacy into the financial world. And if you live into an authoritarian regime, you will be able to escape with your money. You will be able to not get your funds seized by the government because you have a different political party, point of view, or you are just like, you're just in contradiction with some centralized entity that have decided that your life has to be this way because feminism is bad, because climate change is rigged, because whatever reason they have, they can just deny you all power by freezing your bank account. And it has been done to me, it has been done to many others in the Bitcoin space, but regardless of Bitcoin, it has been done to WikiLeaks because they have decided to release some very sensitive information about all the corruption and what the government is doing. It has happened to some religious group all over the world that are just banned because the government of the local jurisdiction don't want them there. And that's just a breach of liberty and freedom. And if we don't have an alternative, then in 10 years, 20 years, our kids will just live in a system that is controlled by a centralized elite of bankers, government that tells you what to do or not to do with your life. And so now the fourth and fifth point is going to be about sound money more than the protocol. So before, obviously, it was the protocol, what Bitcoin allows you to do. Now we're going to move on to the sound money part. And because Bitcoin is sound money, you can escape a dying economy. And that is probably the main case you always hear. What about hyperinflation? What about if the money dies? What happens if the currency got devalued? Well, all of that is going to happen. It's inevitable because of how the fiat system. So fiat is basically your euro, your dollar, your yen, whatever it is. Those currency created and owned by the government, we call them fiat. Well, all those money are going to go to zero. It's inevitable. It has happened thousands of times in the past, and it will continue to happen just because any government is incentivized to print more money. And the more money they print, the less value the paper money that you hold, the dollar or euro has. And when they print too much, then at some point an hyperinflation will eventually happen and cannot be stopped. So right now you probably all know that that is what is happening in Venezuela, but it's also the case in Argentina, Lebanon, Turkey, all of those countries. And we can go back in time and look at hundreds of examples of hyperinflation. The most obvious one are obviously Germany in the 30s and 20s, Chile, France back in the day. All of those countries had hyperinflation. And when that happened, you need to realize that the entire saving of a whole generation, a whole country is destroyed because whatever amount of money you don't have in a property is gone. Your money is pointless. You won't be able to use it, you won't be able to invest it, and you won't be able to leave the country. Well, with Bitcoin, it's an alternative because it is sound money, because there will always be 21 million Bitcoin, and if you want to know why, it's going to be in the next chapter. No one is going to ever create more money. So because of the limited cap, it's going to be a deflationary currency and your money is going to be worse over time. So basically for you, every time you have a dollar, if you don't spend it and you don't create something or you don't invest it to get a return, then in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, that dollar is going to be worth way less, right? Well, with Bitcoin, it's going to be the opposite, basically. So you can save a percentage of your money into Bitcoin. You can start earning Bitcoin to escape those dying economy. And sadly, it's not only in those countries I stated before. With the COVID and the amount of printing they're doing, which is in the trillions, every single currency is going to be debased, at least by half. And then when the currency is going to be dying, they're just going to create a new digital currency called, so it's going to be central bank digital currency, so CBDC. And those currencies are just going to be the new normal, but it's still going to be heavily debased compared to what you have today. So which brings us to the fifth point and last one, so don't worry, it's going to be over soon, which is sound money. With sound money, you can save for the future. You don't have to invest in the stock. You don't have to search for a yield in a return. You can safely deposit your money into Bitcoin or just live in the Bitcoin economy. And your money is not going to be devalued every single year, slowly by slowly, until it's worthless. And that really brings us to like having a better economy, an economy that is healthier and can aim for long-term project with long-term vision about what the world should be, because we're not focused on what the next president in his 4 years term is going to do. We're focused on what us as human we can do, because we have sound money that allow us to go forward. Sound money is really the key here, because it's not getting devalued. You can literally just leave money in the bank account and in your Bitcoin wallet actually, and you will be able to have more in the future as something of better quality. So it's really about saving more than anything else when you come to the money aspect of Bitcoin. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like to see more, please subscribe, like, comment. On the next chapter, we're gonna see the technical of Bitcoin, how it works and why there will only be 21 million, and also the whole Bitcoin industry, what it is, who are the main actors, and how the whole space is built upon a decentralized network. Please, if you want more details, check the full PDF in the description. There is all the links and articles that you can dig to go further in every single topic I've just discussed. And if you want to check my website, go ahead. It's www.thebitcoinrabbithole.com. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.